Welcome February. Jan 28th, 29th, we had the biggest snowfall I've seen in a while, and it brought frigid temperatures. But coming out of January into February, the frigid temperatures is probably the only bad thing I have to report today. If you look at the major stock indexes returns, this is the first time after a while that we are seeing black all around. And leading the way is S&P TSX. So let me just quickly get into it. I have three major points: S&P 500, the Fed policy, as well as the TSX that I'm going to cover. S&P 500, December 24th, it hit session lows. It was about 20% down from its most recent peak. The pattern was similar. We had seen this in February. There's a steep decline and then it shoots back up. And as we speak today, it's come up about, give or take, about 10% from where it was on December 24th. So call it algos, call it ETFs, but there is a definite change in terms of what we are seeing: steep declines and steep rebounds, something we hadn't seen in the earlier corrections. The second thing I want to talk about is the Fed. They came out earlier this week and said they seemed a bit cautious. They have had about 9 tightenings and they were quantitative tightening to the tune of about 50 billion a month. Now, they came back and said, hold on a minute, this is not an autopilot anymore. We are going to watch the data, and that's how we're going to decide the next steps, what we're going to take. And if you're a risk asset, you're going, yippee, that's where we want to be. And the last thing I want to talk about is the TSX. If you look at these numbers, this is the strongest performing index. Part of it to do with the oil. It's rebounded from about low 42s. It's about in the mid 50s and the 50s range right now, and which is good for the Canadian dollar. It's good for the energy companies and good for the TSX. One thing I had mentioned is I was watching the option adjusted spreads in the US for the high yield debt. Now, similar to the S&P 500, this is like the spreads had widened going into December, and we see them fall back again in January. A similar trend to what we saw in S&P 500. But from my perspective, I think that was a good relief and makes me more comfortable getting into February. On the practice front, Women in Investing workshop held on January 24th. The next one is for February 21st. Now, the good thing is that now the enrollment is on the website, so if you want to attend, you can just go look at the next session and put in your login details, and I can reserve a spot for you. It's February, so no surprises here. If you're a Canadian, it's RRSP time. The deadline is March 1st. So my humble request to all of you, please do not wait for the last minute to make your contribution. My second point here is, if you have a contribution room and you have a marginal tax rate of 30% or higher, but do not have the money to make the contribution, feel free to give me a call, 905-363-5035. We will come up with a plan to get you the maximum tax refund. With that, I wish you an awesome March and awesome February, and we'll see you back in March. Till then, keep asking away. Website askaman.ca. Thank you so much for watching.